Alright guys, so in the last training for this unit, before we actually get into the last unit of the Profit Lure series, I want to go over my favorite front-end acquisition funnel structure to run. And this is what I always look for really on any of the traffic platforms that I decide to run, but especially on YouTube. Because again, the Profit Lure concept is really only dealing with the first initial landing page that a prospect lands on right after they click on an ad. So just to recap, in the last training, we actually talked about the changes that I made to Adam's front-end landing page. You know, taking it from this offer-centered or you as the business owner-centered approach to this them-centered or audience-centered approach. But what you didn't see is actually what happens after they actually opted into this front end, which was a mini video slash webinar that was a shade under just 10 minutes. And then as you can see, this page is actually what gave them the money CTA, which was to book a call. So guys, and especially if you were one of those modern day copywriters that kept poking so hard in the last training, it's not that I'm out here saying that every copywriting guru in the world that's ever lived is clueless and not worth utilizing their techniques. But really the last training was really about just stating something so severely polarizing that it kind of acted as a little slap against the head to shake loose all of these rigid belief systems that are in the industry. Because again, the usage of techniques and tactics and methodologies and all that jazz, that alone isn't what causes them to work. But understanding the 3D viewpoint of why you use them and when you should actually use them. And this is what gets so lost, even among people who are out there teaching it. Because remember, Todd Brown's own inner circle mastermind is what came up with this pitch. And this pitch is the one that nobody could actually get to work on cold paid traffic. Because again, they got so caught up in their own concepts that they teach that they forgot about the timing. And quite frankly, the basic marketing 101 implementation of the tactic, which ultimately resulted in them creating for Adam a Seinfeld funnel. So I didn't throw that baby out with the bathwater. I actually kept the concept that they created, but I just implemented it after I already hooked the prospect with the profit lure, getting them to say, I want to do that. So guys, this is all starting to click a little bit. So yes, you can talk about you and use all your fancy copy hacks. You just got to understand the timing of when you're able to do this profitably with cold paid traffic. And that's not right after somebody clicks on your ad, again, in a cold paid traffic scenario. Because don't forget, they don't know you yet. They don't care about you. And at that point, all they care about is them until you've actually earned the right to the relationship first. So this is why I always say that an offer first strategy with cold paid traffic is the marketing equivalent to a pick. Ain't nobody want to see you, especially if this is the very first interaction that they've ever had with you.
I have the biggest. It's the biggest. Take a look at this. Look. It's not that big.
Again, if you're already in a committed relationship with them, meaning that this is a warm traffic or a remarketing campaign, then yeah, maybe you can get away with it. Actually, just don't. That's gross. Even in all those situations, an audience first strategy will always win. Just keep it in your pants, guys. Keep it in your pants. Because the last thing you want to do is being this guy in your market. So my approach to all media buying, no matter what the platform is that I always start with the profit matrix worksheet. Because again, this allows me to define the who I'm targeting and what they want, which will give me all of the information that I need to actually craft a profit lure that actually regurgitates back what they want to hear. And guys, I actually do this on a per campaign basis, not on a once per offer basis. So doing all of this actually allows me to ensure that my targeting and all the ads that I create actually talk specifically to them, because this actually starts the filtration process for lead quality for the rest of my funnel. Do I care about CPMs at this point? No. Do I care about CPCs at this point? No. And it doesn't matter what platform I'm marketing on, because all I care about is creating the exact thing that the audience wants to hear and getting that in front of them so that I have a minimum viable product or a minimum viable offer that I can at least go into the testing phase with and get that real world data. Because again, if you're not testing, you're guessing at all of this. So if you do all of this and your CPMs and your CPCs aren't coming in to where you need them to be, then you cut the campaign. And that's whenever you step back and actually regroup. You don't try to manipulate the data within the ad platforms, because that's ignoring the signs that, hey, maybe this brilliant idea that I had isn't going to work. So then after I actually go through that process, I move on to everything we've discussed in this mini series, and I actually create a profit lure that is extremely them focused, not me focused. And when it comes down to building out this process, I usually use one of 3 types of pages depending on the budgets. Either a bridge page, a dual step opt-in page, or a single step opt-in page. Because again, I'm trying to get them to prove that they're worthy enough to go through my sales process. So I want this added level of filtration in place. So now, which one of those 3 do I advise to use? Well, it really all comes down to your daily budgets that you have to work with, which we'll actually go over once we get to the traffic section of the bootcamp. But y'all had the opportunity to see in the last training how tight I live and die by this stuff. If a client even has a hint that it's a Seinfeld offer, I don't care who it is. I say, nope, no thank you. Not for cold traffic. Thank you. Next. So when these types of clients come across my table, I just flat out tell them, use your email list or focus on a remarketing campaign if you want to do some paid media, because it ain't going to work with cold paid traffic. But again, after that, that's whenever I love to go to something like what I built out for Adam, a quick 10-minute or less mini VSL/webinar that has a few bullet points or pieces of copy to give them a get off the fence type of motivator. And blammo, this is my absolute favorite funnel structure to run for cold paid traffic. And guys, it doesn't matter if this is a book a call page or you're using it for course sales or SaaS software or affiliate offers or even e-com products. It doesn't matter what it is. This is by far my favorite funnel structure to utilize. And if you actually have specific questions on how to implement it in those different categories, just hit me up in the community. And yes, guys, I really do this on a per campaign basis, because ultimately what I'm trying to do is continue to build out stuff that looks like this, which is all what the next unit of the Profit Lure mini series is going to deep dive. Because ultimately what I want for cold paid traffic campaigns is to have a library of these profit lures all feeding into the same core offer. Again, I'm not trying to have a library of audiences all feeding into the same offer. Again, like for Adam, the target audience is fitness trainers that are actively searching for how to get more online training clients. And for this particular profit lure, it was all about how to do that using Instagram. Hence the reason the headline is how to get 30 plus new online fitness clients in the next 30 days using Instagram. But let's zoom out and think about it. Is this where the money is made in his business? No. It's actually made here. This is his money pitch, his core offer, which is actually getting people to book a call. So now going back to here, our first profit lure was using that angle. But guess what he was actually working on? A TikTok specific training. So that's whenever we could have yet another campaign and yet another profit lure, all talking about, how to get more fitness clients on TikTok, just for an example. Or we could have yet another one on how to grow a profitable YouTube fitness channel, or how to operationally run a fitness business, because a part of his core pitch actually gives them all of the operational documents, the contracts and sales training that they actually need for all business operational aspects. And guess what? He also has a library of ready to go meal plans and fitness routines, all categorized by not only the diet that the client might want to follow, like, whether it's, like keto or vegan or paleo, but also by the age and fitness level of clients. So now imagine if we actually bundled all of that up into its own profit lure, because there's actually a huge search volume for people looking for workout routines for clients or meal plans for fitness clients. So we could easily create a profit lure that says something like, hey, download the top rated meal plan and workout routines for your personal training clients. So each one of the profit lures and all those examples I just gave are designed to be exactly what the audience wants, what they are looking or searching for, and it's actually designed to regurgitate back what they want to hear. And actually gives us more and more opportunities to actually scale our business, not just our offer. Because guys, eventually the how to get clients profit lure is gonna hit critical mass, meaning there are only so many people having that exact problem at any given time. So just like with fishing, there are only so much bass in any given body of water. But if you need to eat, sure, you could sit there and try to figure out how to get, trout to actually latch onto your bass lure. But in all reality, you need a fly if you're trying to catch trout, or the lure that they will actually respond to. Because at the end of the day, they are all going back to the same boat. And hopefully, ultimately, the same belly. But you'll never get them here unless you're casting something that they actually want to bite onto. But Jay, why don't you just put all of those pitches on the same page? Then you can actually have one page to run traffic to. That would be so much easier. Because guys, like we learned in the 7 laws, if you try to be everything to everyone, then you're nothing to no one. That's like me going up to fishermen and ask them, hey, why don't you put all the different types of baits for all of the different kinds of fish in the water on the same hook? He's gonna look at me like, because it doesn't work. And there's no way that a single page with all of the concepts that we just went through is going to fit in the first 10 words, or even stand a chance at passing a 3-second test. And besides, that's what this page is for. If your core business can actually do all of that, then great. Turn it into a unique mechanism or a catchphrase big idea and sell it to them after you get them hooked, not before. You Brent Favre wannabe you. Because guys, how I'm able to actually get the results that no one else can is because I do things that look like this versus just trying to do this, which is spaghetti testing a heck of a lot of audiences against an offer focused sales page, which means that I'm going to be spending the majority of my time hoping and praying that all of this stuff is going to work before my credit card statement comes in at the end of the month. So hopefully this offers a little bit of clarity as far as how my mind processes this and my unique process that I'm taking you through and why I'm having you do certain things in certain ways. And it gives you a little bit more insight to take you from that 2D to a 3D marketer. So with all that, guys, I'll see you in the next training.